What up, fam?
Back on.
2021, man.
Finally
We're back here.
And what a way to kick it off with a
Yeah,
bang.
that's it, man. They want shock. You know, here we go. It doesn't get much more shocking than Subb Caruso, man.
Tell you what, people have been asking for him non-stop for this show, man.
Well, I'm here now, baby.
Man's going viral too.
You boys have got me.
Over a
at
million
your full
views.
disposal. Yeah, man.
So it's, glad we're on. Back doing what we like to do. We had a bit of a 2-week break since over the Christmas holidays.
Was nothing really going on in that time, so we thought
pretty much it was just one fight since that whole time. Good fight. I enjoyed it.
I didn't really watch it.
What fight was that?
Garcia and Luke Campbell.
Yeah, young up and coming prospect.
Oh no, I saw that guy, that little Mexican guy.
Yeah, he's not even Mexican, man.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Well, I am.
Am I Chilean?
Well, well,
If
he
he's
claims
not-
to be Mexican, but he's got Mexicans in his corner, and apparently yes, there's a translator there.
His old man's Mexican.
I
His
don't
old lady
know.
is Mexican.
Call a false flag.
Well, I don't know. If
I heard
he-
he's.
All right,
That's
well,
authentic as well,
Brendan
but-
Schaub said it
You're
best.
a hypocrite.
Brendan Schaub says it best. He says he's Taco Bell Mexican.
Yeah.
What Italian are you then?
I'm not Italian, bro. I'm straight up Caruso, man.
Straight up.
Well, I
Caruso.
claim to be Mexican as well,
Yeah,
so
true.
maybe me and Mr. Garcia are about on par.
Yeah, well, true.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, pretty much touch on what we got over on the holidays. I seen that you went away with Annalise.
Yeah,
Down to the
went
river?
away. Yeah, went to the river the other day, but that was not bad. Went up there to Wellington. But look, I'm all for the let's talk about. But we got him here. We got him. I would like to just dive straight into it because I mean,
Get me.
straight off the bat.
Could I talk about going away with a woman? I wish I could do that on the
Now look,
break.
that's it. But
Go on.
let's keep it where it is because they want to hear about it.
Yeah.
And we got to fit a lot into this episode. We got to talk with him. We got to talk about the up and coming shows, up and coming year even.
And knowing Sav, we can.
Oh, that's
talk
it. We
for
could be
days
here all
about
day.
stories.
And just straight off the bat, I mean, I'm seeing him with the outfit that he's wearing. It's a dashiki from Ethiopia.
No, that's from Africa. I got it
Africa?
from, where do we get
South
it from?
Africa?
Cape Town.
Cape Town, South Africa, and he's wearing a necklace there, with,
I found this in my
and it-
nunna's room as though
and it says non-toxic. what is
it does say
It does.
non-toxic. Well, bro, man, in here there's non-toxic because I'm just on a full diet of all natural. So yeah, here we go. And
So-
neither is this cross, man.
Straight off the bat, I want to ask him. See, like, why do you wear that?
Why?
Yeah. What makes you wear that?
Because you know why? Because it's fun. It's got colours on it. It's got things that I've seen in the past. So I just drape myself with what I think is fun.
Because on this show, as we had like Nicholas Booker on, we had Linton on, was all about things, why you do things. And if there's anyone out there, I'm sure that people want to know why someone does something. It's Subb, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like he's known for having his outrageous, notorious show on the internet that people hound to get censored, but yet, why do you watch it if you want it
They love
censored?
it.
Just don't watch it. He plays a weekly, as he calls it, a church service every Sunday.
Crazy Muslim, right?
in his driveway.
Right, we're here live.
I know,
We're backstage. We're at the
guys
back
are
of the venue.
You guys are actually at the Wembley Stadium right here. We have live shows. We have training seminars. We have a few weeks ago we had the Spartan in the auxiliary room across the road there under the pergola. So
The auxiliary room.
I make it up. We make it up as we go, man. Yeah,
But-
it's the auxiliary studio, man. You know.
But just straight off the bat, like, so why do you just help the public understand?
Yeah.
Why do you, for instance, the show? Why do the show? Why you
Well,
do the show?
You know what? I suppose I'd classify myself as a seeker. So I know how to do things, so I do them, and and I just fixate myself on, say, just doing the show, and whatever comes my way. But I will not stifle my creativity or any of that because I'm designing the whole thing by myself, so I think I have to be true to myself and the people that I'm wanting to watch to get a very true representation of me. and I suppose growing up, you'd see a lot of TV and magazine, and it's all fucking bullshit. And I know it. And it's like, fuck, you know, like, so I have a passion for just creating in the real realm. Yeah, it's scary, and it's got all these funny words that you've heard on all the bad shows, and you shouldn't be listening to it. But hey, man, I don't live my life like that. And that sort of thinking holds back, like, the discovery of water on plants for 300 years. The man's grandson had to come through.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm saying that the first, like, written down discovery of water working on plants had to wait 200 years because putting water on plants defiles the Catholic Church. And they're the ones who run the science and all the media outlets. So they literally, stupid people like that, hold back going forward. And I am not an idiot. I'm not an idiot. I might do crazy things, but I'm not an idiot.
I just want to jump in.
Jump on.
A lot of people misperceive the way this guy is.
No, that's why I want
a
him
lot
on.
of people think that this guy is just a stupid fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's all right.
He's got no fucking brain.
Yeah.
Just then and
No,
there,
no,
when
he
he
blew
was
my
just
mind.
talking,
I'm
I'm like,
sitting
this
here
man
going,
is
I'm
fucking deep.
thinking either he's just like blew my mind or he is talking so much fucking shit that you're like, oh,
I get
fuck, man,
excited.
I just bought that.
I'm getting excited.
And that's why I wanted to have him on, because I wanted to give him a chance to sort of, I know me and obviously Sav's my older brother, so I've had a lot of time to just talk with him and over the years and watched him over the years. But he's actually quite an interesting person in terms of, I've met so many people over the past, say, 10 years, and you can call it a system, and they just follow, like he just said. So now, hopefully that is true what he said, but they do that. Like people can't break the tide of like what is the right thing to do. Like even if they know it's going to affect their life in the long run, they'll be like, no, yeah, I have to do it. Everyone else does.
Well, I just feel as an artist, and I've had a pretty easy life, right? I've had good family around me. I've always had we've had no problems in life. And the bare minimum I can do as an artist is to like just give back like a true representation of what I'm thinking and feeling. You know, so I'm just good at it.
No, and I mean,
I practice a lot.
the biggest thing that I always put it down to is, and I'm not just saying for Sab, and I'm not trying to compare him to anyone like these got people, but if you always look at a guy like always the best of, like we've spoken about sportsmen, I always refer to them is guys who are always cutting the edge. Like Michael Jordan, he jumps from the free throw line and does what he does. He trains like more than everybody. They're setting new standards. They're pushing the boundaries, and they're always Diego Maradona. These are the guys who always end up becoming the greatest because they're willing to step outside of the box and do something different. And that's why I enjoy like a guy like Sav what he does, because he's pushing the boundaries. He's testing what everyone's thinking and saying, and he's constantly testing it out. And I really enjoy that about him. That's why it's good to have him on and hear why he does these things. I mean, why do you play every Sunday? Why do you do that?
Because I gotta say, I love guitars and I love making them loud. And I suppose, in this world where like words don't, like everyone's got their words and all that, it's like music is just such a different forum. Like it's like in the air, man. It's crazy. I'm still working it out. I'm like a crazy scientist, but I love it. That's why I do it. I suppose bare minimum, to the crux of it, I do it because I love it, and I still believe like I want to be free, and a lot of people don't think they can be. So I just give it a direct representation of what not giving a fuck and doing what the absolute fuck you want to do looks and sounds like. That's why I do it. And everyone says, oh, what about this? What about that? Fuck them. I don't give a shit. Like, we are at a time now where there was these people who locked us away for the weekend. And I went out on that weekend into the city, because usually I go to the Botanic Gardens and I go to the into the shops and I buy some berries, and I didn't see anybody. And I'm just thinking, fuck, man, this place is like, everyone's just so scared to live. But you know what? I'm not, and I'll show you how to do it. And I'll even put my fucking ass on the line, because I don't give a shit. I had the terror cops come here, this week. They think I'm a terrorist, which is like, depending on how you word it, is whatever. But, they were asking me if I was a Nazi. I didn't say it to them because these guys are like the fucking FBI, like legit, right? Are they like the FBI? So, but I could have taken the pen off him and the pad and said, well, now I'm going to write down all the things that I think you're a Nazi for. Like fucking coming here and taking my guns unlawfully. Nazi. Or making everyone enforce a fucking barcode on everyone. Nazi. You know, or sterilizing the whole population and killing them with your fucking Google gobble bullshit. Nazis, right? Hey, okay, I would admit, and I didn't tell him, maybe I think I'm a little bit anti-Semitic, but I'm not willing to act on that. You know what I mean? Because you're thinking, oh, look at Seinfeld there, you know, Frasier's way better. You know, but other than that, no. And I told the guy, I said no, because he asked me if I was a white supremacist. Which is like, I don't know. I said, depends on what day you get me. But I'll tell you this. I've been to Africa. I love African girls. I've got fucking black mates that I live with. And I've lived with and travelled. And we're all friends and brothers. My favourite artists are black people. So it's like, you know, I absolutely have no prejudice against these people. It's crazy, isn't it? But I'm like, I sort of fucking hate anyone. If I want to piss them off, I might put their race at the start of it, maybe to provoke them. But that's a whole different thing.
You might use their race, religion, gender as a descriptive word, but never in a negative. You would never judge someone purely based on their description.
No, but and at the same time, I will not curb my vocabulary because we're not allowed to say certain words. Like certain minority groups are allowed to say it. Fuck that. I'm a big, strong man in my 30s, man. I'll say what the hell I like. And that is just it, because these are just words, man. These are not action.
Yeah, it's true. Powerful stuff from straight off the bat.
And that's across the board, because if you had like an Italian guy fucking give you shit,
I'd call him a wog dog,
exactly.
Fucking spit on him, and I'd even go to the family, because I know that's where I'd hurt him. I'd go straight to the bottom, because that's what I'd do. But that's a whole nother fucking kettle of fish. Am I like actively upset at anybody or any group? No, man. You know what I mean? Maybe some like fucking... something else, but
it's
not
funny.
race,
well, it's funny
race.
that you know you have the police here and they're asking if you're a white supremacist as he sits here in front of us wearing an African shirt. You know, and I know it's not much, but you know how many of those people who can point the finger can even A, say they've ever even travelled into Africa, and B, I mean many people that I know will openly be like, oh, we're not racist, and they would call people like probably Sava racist, but I've known many kids that we've had in our house who are from Africa and immigrants who have eaten at our dinner table, you know, and just because we don't portray that on social media and put it on TV, people think, oh, that you would never do that, but they think they're these social justice warriors when really what are they doing to be better than anyone else? I find that crazy because it's funny because like you look at a guy like Savvy, he's such a picture painted about him purely through the internet, and when you get to know him, it's so like, oh, that's not what I thought he was.
This is what I'm also, because I did have to sit down the terrorism cops and explain to them what perceptions are and what art is. And I said, well, as an artist, I challenge people's perceptions, and it's just a fucking crazy... People think that they can get this thing here, look at it, right? This is like a window into a reality that is fucking edited. They think they can watch this and get the whole perspective of everything and anything. Man, I just don't know how that happens. Like, I get it, this is funny and you can get chicks on it and whatnot, but it's just so not reality. The only thing that is actually happening in, like, say, ever since I've been born is the fucking sun going up and down and the world spinning around. But there's actually nothing else really going on, and people just entertain it. But I have a problem because now they're making us stay in our house. They're making us do all this. It's becoming like real. They're trying to make it a reality, but it's not the reality, man. You know. But maybe they're getting us ready for something different. But either way, I'll keep rocking and rolling right till they drop the bomb, so they can kiss my ass.
So you had the anti-terrorist police come up on Sunday. You had the coppers rock up to here.
Yeah.
What do they come down?
Well,
for?
I suspect that there's and I really believe
just quickly, just to rattle off the list, and then he also has apparently that on the daily has multiple calls to the local council that referred to as the hairy pig is at it again.
No, the hairy, filthy pig. That's right.
you know. And I just think it's insane because it's funny because our neighbours. They have no issue with it. Our neighbours actually have given Sav a guitar. They actually come out and watch many of the shows. So I'm thinking, who is calling? Like, are they even in the surrounding area? Are they driving past and going, wait, I don't like that. I want him to stop. But it's got nothing to do with me, but I still don't like it. I want it to... That is, to me, and it's funny because that is, to me, is what I would call a Nazi. Right there. You're wanting someone to stop what they're doing. Even though it's not affecting you in any way, but you want that to stop just because you don't like it. I think that is a true Nazi because they're stopping someone from, just the world being free. And it's funny, but you were saying so the cops come here on Sunday.
On Sunday. I saw it on your snap.
Oh, yeah, the cops came, but I suspect that my name is... See, because when they say filthy, disgusting pig, man, don't keep saying that to the female staff. They're eventually going to get horny and want to come down here. You know what I'm saying? Don't, man, because I'll be fully booked. But anyway, I suspect that my name is circulating also in the Salisbury precinct amongst the young females there. And I think they just want to almost ask
shot
me.
At the title.
They just want a shot at the title.
Yeah,
and I got no problem with that. Girls, I'm there for you.
Because I reckon now the sort of police or the local police now will be like, Sav again.
Well, pretty much when they came here the other day, I actually approached them first, said, hey guys, can I help you? And they literally just didn't even really acknowledge me. And they said, we're just here for Sav, and beeline straight to them. As in, I know, there's Sav over there. We're just on the way. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? I found that quite strange. I was like, okay, they must know exactly who this guy is, you know what I mean?
And I suppose even as an artist, you come to eventually where you are. So all my songs that I wrote are things that I actually I felt.
Yes, sir.
And it was so hard for me to write in the past, but last few years I was traveling and I just wrote and I just captured a lot of real things, you know. And me and you, we've been all around the world, and the thing is, sometimes a lot of people are self-conscious and that, but we've literally taken ourselves and who we are, what we wear, what we say, what we eat. We've taken it all around the world, and you know what? We didn't have no trouble. We made friends. We were welcome everywhere we went. And that proved to me that my personality fits in all around the world, you know, and I just rely on being myself. It's all the other people trying to be normal and build a perspective off a phone or something.
Yeah,
can't do it.
I guess a big thing off that is Sav and I've been to about 36 countries. I think he's been to a few more than me. But so many of the countries that we've been to have always, we've had at least 50% of them being told, do not go there. Do not go there because you are not going to make it back alive. And we would go to all these Brazil, Indonesia, Thailand, Ethiopia, Africa, Abu Dhabi. There's some off the top of my head I can think of. All places in America. Do not go to that. We've been to Compton in California, and we've never run into an issue ever. And I'm just like, someone's lying here, and it's not us because we've done it. And I'm like, that's why it went back to Sav's point about the virtual reality. That's what's happening. People are ringing you while you're in Compton going, watch out, man, you're going to get shot. And you're going, but I'm here. You're in Australia. I can see it. You can't.
I'll say this, because, see, us guys, we got raised up by, farm people, So these people are real, And, we got around, so... and we were hanging out on the most real streets there is. Man, if you've got a complaint in Kingston, there's no one to complain
Jamaica,
to.
You're talking about.
Jamaica or something. And you got to get face level with these people and deal with it yourself. If you don't like the way they're brushing their dog in fucking Africa, you're not calling the RSPCA to have someone come around and go, give him a brush.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. They fucking got him on the barbecue, mate. They're eating him. Seriously.
They go to brush him, they come back with
people
a coat.
Don't understand, those streets are real, man.
Yeah.
What happens on those streets, it just lives and it dies there. There's no cameras. There's no bullshit, man. They're just real streets, And, hey, you too, because you travel too. We survived on those streets.
Well, it's funny because, we and Sav have this discussion often sometimes, and I've had it with many people. A lot of people, they sit, and even a lot of people who do even travel, they travel in such a white... I don't want to say it that way, but a Western way that it's like they go straight from the airport, chauffeured straight to the 5-star hotel, stay in all the nice cafes, and they're like, yeah, this is what the world is. The world is, everyone has an entertainment area, everyone has a pool, everyone has a car. But people don't realise that if people in Australia are starting to feel the reality of it, because you're meeting people now who are like, I can't afford a car, I have to catch the bus. But people in, say, you know, like for instance Brazil, some families have grown but their whole lives never had a car. I'm sure Chile, like I'm sure some, like we stayed.
It's like a car between the family.
We were lucky enough when we were in Chile to stay in your family's village, and we stayed with one of your uncle's houses. And I told, you know, my girlfriend this, to say, you know, to go to my room, I would have to climb up a staircase, which was the mountain that it was built on was still exposed, and as you could actually see the dirt of the mountain there, you know what I mean? And she was like, no, really? I'm like, see, that's, people don't get it. They actually think everyone has like a 3-bedroom home.
Here, the Australian holiday is go to Bali, go to Killer Resort, and then it's not. So you might as well just go here to fucking.
These are the people who are complaining, but see, I don't see a complaint as a genuine like, oh, he's, you know, I see it as a genuine like cry out for help, like. Because nothing should be censored in my eyes. They're actually very curious to know, like, why is he wearing that T-shirt?
Well, the very same people that call for a censorship, they must realise that one day, if they can censor today, they better hope one day the tide doesn't turn and now they become the censored people. Because essentially, who's being censored is just the majority censor the minority. And what happens one day when it happens the other way around, then you're going to see that shift. But like Sav said, I really think no one should be censored. Nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, we need laws and we need rules that we should all apply by, but that's what the people should agree on. But now, like we had, I reckon like 20 years ago, that's when, like even 10 years ago, life was just great. It was just normal, you know what I mean? Everyone's, now it's like, so like, you got to watch what you post. If you don't post someone's like birthday on Instagram, you are now like not their friend anymore. You're like, but I know, I just came to your birthday. Yeah, but you didn't post about it. You're like, wow. I actually had people who come up to me and go, oh, you don't follow me on Instagram. But I'm like, yeah, I know, but we've been friends for like 10 years. Like, what's the difference? Yeah, but you don't follow me. I'm like, it's crazy.
We actually got one of those in our friendship group.
Is that me?
Actually, a few of those actually.
We got a couple of the boys.
Do I do it?
Well, one of them will pack you.
No, I think I do good. I get all the boys and have a look at shit. Yeah,
but I just it's funny with that reality how world's turning around, and that's why I wanted to have Sav on.
Well, hey,
he can really, when he talks to people, and I'm not saying that he's super intelligent, nothing, but he's got such the way he thinks about the world. I think a lot of people need to sit down with a guy like this and be like, because like Sav said, we've been all around and we've seen these certain things happen, and I just think there's so many people out there who've lived in this such little sheltered world for so long. And most people won't admit this, and I even had this discussion with my friends in America, with Linton Vassell, who we had on the show, and guys who I live with, Marcos and other. And I said to these guys, look, I don't want to come, I hope that you don't take this in the wrong way, but as a kid, I was growing up to be scared of the black man. That's how they told us to do it on the TV. And
the black man's scared of the white man.
And everyone would deny and go, no, I wasn't scared. But people still are to this day. Like, I still often hear people won't go outside because they're like, I want to. They'll actually say there might be a black guy outside. But who told you that?
This is why I won't.
It's crazy.
This is why I come through like an avalanche and I won't be told or stopped, because I know that I'm smart enough now that these people, they only release certain things and all that so they can make money and they can push their agendas forward. But hey, it's not happening here, man. I'm staying strong.
No, well, you rock on. You rock on for us all, Sav.
What do you classify yourself as? Like, I'm a filmmaker, he's a fighter. What would you say?
Well, I suppose the thing I have to classify myself as probably most likely like maybe a bit of an artist, because I tend to go from one thing to the next, and it's always like creative, and I'm always trying to set it up. I'm out there in the garden, or I'm making music, or I'm thinking about another film. But I love challenging perceptions constantly. It's what I do, because like I said, all the stuff that Tony's saying is, these people, they build up false like perceptions off a peephole. That's like looking at the world, when you go into the door and you're looking in it and you can only see all this and the sound. That is the exact same analogy of that. I know a lot of people say, oh, you're different on social media, but I sort of don't see it like that, Maybe I crescendo because I'm doing a show or I'm playing a guitar. Yeah, of course, I'm going to be a bit more uppity. It's like a training session. But, you know.
Yeah, but it's like when you perform, you're on. You know what I mean? It's when it's time to perform, you perform. But when you're not, you're like, yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm not gonna be jumping off the walls I don't run up and boot everything and fight with everybody. I'm a fighter, but I only do it when I train. Like I'm not gonna.
Do you find it hard to get out of character? In terms of like you being out on the street and then somebody say, "Oh, that's Subs from Subs."
Nah, you know what though? Because like, I love it, and a lot of people don't know. Like, you know, they get a bit of notoriety. Oh, you know, he's saying hi to me. He says this and that. You know what? When people come up to me and they waste their time not waste their time. They use their time and they give me their time to say hey to me and tell me that they like anything that I created. I'll sit there and I'll listen because I take it as a big compliment because, you know, I just, like, when the cops were here, the terror guys are saying, oh, you know, like, they were questioning me about fucking YouTube and shit. I'm like, you guys got to understand that I'm not going to sit here with you guys who, you know, high up police officers. I'm not going to talk about poo-poo humor with you because you got to understand everything on the internet is fucking hogwash and bullshit. Do you think it's real? Like, don't have that conversation with me because I'm actually, like, intelligent while, you know, I know that everything on the internet and all the rest of it's just not real. It's fucking true. All bullshit. I even fly a very clear disclaimer at the start of the show because I feel like every show should, saying that what you're about to watch, you shouldn't, and it's all bullshit anyway.
Yeah.
Because, hey...
It's like watching a sitcom. That's what I feel like with like... all social medias, to me, it's a form of entertainment, but people have turned it into like a form of like now. Most people will actually go to social media to find out daily like occurrences. That is their breaking news, is the social media.
That's the new news.
Yeah. You know, and it's a scary concept because you know what? Here's a funny like the social media of the world that we live in is just so fake and so fraudulent. You know, I hear often people say like about like, for instance, here's a great example. And me and my girlfriend often talk, but she'll say like, oh, that couple, you know, they look so happy together, and I say, like, who's ever going to post, like, they're having a bad day with their missus? Yeah, just had a bust up with the missus, you know, spewing.
This is why, all right.
It's so fake and fraudulent. I don't know how people don't understand this.
And to add on to that, that's why I just told when the FBI agents came, I just said, I'm calling it. The CIA. When the DEA came in, I just told them, no, boys, we're not talking about poo-poo humour. And they wanted to check out my guns because they wanted to see if I'm fit enough to own a firearm. You know what I mean? Well, all right, whatever.
While they were carrying a firearm.
Yeah, you know, but I've got a deep passion and love affair for like my guns and the setups and that, and they're just power tools, man. Yeah, they're just fucking power tools. That's all. I agree with you. There's some real stupid people who think like they're other things, but yeah, they can do a lot of things. But to people who own them and respect them, it's not like we do respect the power of them, but they're just tools, man. But it's like my saw, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, because I mean, I'm the same as Sav. I love my guns as well, and I believe, you know, they're just like Sav said, power tools. And when you're educated with a power tool, you can use it correctly. When you're uneducated, you can hurt a lot of people, you know, and yourself included.
I think for anyone who's watching this, I think you should go out and get your gun license and go, and because I would like to see a wave of, imagine if heaps of people started, I know it probably won't happen, but getting their gun license and that.
But people are just so scared of guns.
People put guns on their national flags, man, because gun is also a sign of liberty, man, for the people.
So
if those dogs, in my eyes, if the baby killers and the abo killers are gonna have them, I want one too. Yeah. But you know, that's the way I see it. Right.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I like it.
Now, going back way back, before Tony was in the MMA scene.
Yes, man.
You yourself.
Something I want. He was actually the guy who brought us all into it. You know, so he's our Royce Gracie.
Well,
I said for everyone, yourself included.
Yeah, so like Peter O'Shea was like the grand.
Oh yeah, he was your Henzo. No, not Henzo. What's his name? Royler. No.
Helio.
I don't know.
Or the grandfather or the dad.
Edit there, Rick.
Full face here. But Sav was the one that brought it to the streets, man. Brought that world.
I'll never forget when he first went to jiu-jitsu and he was like, I'm going to go try this new martial art. It's called jiu-jitsu. And I remember he showed me and I was like, why the fuck would you want to do that? It's so gay. Because then I was still playing footy, and I really didn't even like martial arts. And I was like, why would you do that? He was like, no, I'm going to give it a go. And I mean, he went to Northside all by himself, man. And all my cousins and that, like, they were giving him shit. I don't do that. Don't waste your time. And yeah, man, you know what I mean? Like, once again, someone who's willing to break the ban. And my uncle and my cousins, like, so tried to stop Sav from doing it. But he was the only guy who was willing to push the envelope. And, like, now my cousin Donnie does it. My cousin Pat, he tried it. Yeah, like, Diego does it. Oh, you know, you did it. I do it. You know, and it was all because of him. He gave it a go, man. And he made us all sort of give it a shot.
It's never all because of me. You guys took
agreed.
Too. But I did have an initial passion and a huge burst for it. I suppose growing up, you know, I was sort of always would get into fights and stuff, and I was and I see it now that I'm a bit older, and it's just that it's a very natural phenomenon, I think, and from what I see, is that most young men will have a curiosity with violence, much like, you know, you have a curiosity with sex, you know, because these are real life things that you're going to have to build up. So I remember, this was funny, Dad, like, I'll tell you the story. You know, I used to go and get in a massive bar fight. He did. You know, and it I'd have a calm come over me, and I'd just start going fucking ape shit. And because I saw Steven Seagal beat up like 20 guys, you know. Yeah, I couldn't even do 4, but I got 2 of them good.
To pull you up there, would you say essentially you were living through a virtual reality of the TV?
Yeah.
So you thought a man could beat up 20 guys?
Yeah, I did.
And then right back to his point about the whole iPhone, the whole phones and TVs. He was living that reality. He would go out there, and because he legit would actually go and fight 5 guys at a time because he thought he was Steven Seagal. That's great.
Well, anyway, I'm just painting you a picture and giving you a little story of, like, I mean, because we even, as a kid, like, I used to get this shit kicked out of me all the time. So actually getting beat up, to me, became like, I'm not even, like, embarrassed or anything. Like, I used to just cop a throttling and be like, oh.
He did it actually.
Yeah, I just used to take it in my stride.
I mean, he used to get home.
It became nothing.
He'd get home and he'd be all busted up, and he'd be like, "Yeah, Dad's got into another fight. You son of a bitch."
Even my grandfather, because, you know, these people are hard people, man. He fucking never let me rest. But fucking bless him too, because I wouldn't have been the hard cunt that I am today, and I put my ass on the line because I fucking know how to.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, I do owe a lot from my grandparents because they're hard, real people. Showed us how to be. So anyway, you know, like, I was very curious with violence, whatnot, but I knew I had to, like, put this energy somewhere positive. So I went into a little bit of traditional Shotokan, and that was good, but I wanted to test my martial arts. I wanted to put it on the line.
Before you go into it, because you were the first one, I guess, to really watch the UFC. How did you come about it?
So
I've never really asked that question.
And that's going to be you know, I think someone gave me the videos or something, like 1 to 50.
Because did you start with Bas Rutten watching his fights, then the UFC, or did you go the other way around?
Man, I can't really remember, I just don't remember.
I just remember you used to walking into the room and Sav would always be watching all old Bas Rutten fights and he'd always show me him doing that jump, you know, celebration.
But it also, because I suppose I was a musician too, I have felt this, and like I get a massive rush when I hear guitars and shit. You know, and I still do it. I put my metal on and I'm jumping around. And I thought, nah, but I had that, so I had a lot of energy. I had a curiosity with violence, so I started to get myself back into martial arts. And then I thought, you know, I really want to come to, you know, want to learn about this stuff and answer all my curiosities in a safe place. Yeah. This is why I always tell people to do martial arts. So I saw UFC 1, and I saw Gracie, this guy, this little dude, and he's just beating everyone up with like technique and just a thought process, and I thought, man, I have to learn this stuff. So I got myself into it, and I just threw myself into it. I was sleeping in my gi, everything. I just loved it. You know, Peter was a fantastic coach, and me and him, we just two are the same in, like, not a lot of ways. You know, he's a fun-loving Christian, and I'm a fun-loving Hellraiser. You know, but we, and that's the thing.
It's a Homer and Ned Flanders.
Yeah, but when you find a true friend, you're friends for so many more reasons. You know, and me and Pete, we just got along good. So he was a terrific coach. you know, and I just took a really liking, and I knew that I had to do this because I want to be able to protect myself and my family if the day ever come. And people say, oh, you know, what? No, I don't care. It's my sense of security. Some people go take out insurance. Some people go learn how to fight. You know what I'm saying? That's how I make myself feel safe and confident when I go do the things I do. So, I really got into it. And then I thought, there's no way that I'm going to have my brothers ever not know how to fight. Because I know how to fight, because these guys are my crew, and even my friends like yourself. There was no way I was going to have my friends around me who don't know how to fight, because, you know, I want to know that you guys are safe too for myself, right? So, hey, man, I try to get anyone and everyone I could in there as quick as I could, so we could all learn, you know, and we could all go through our lives and feel safe and content. You know, and just because we know how to beat people, like, we could beat people to death. But you know what? We don't do that, because we've taken out.
Well, that's it.
We answer our curiosities in the gym.
But also goes back to the gun concept. It's education. Like when you know that you can hurt someone, you don't want to do it anymore. You don't want to, you know. And
I guess the era that you were fighting in when you were actually going out and, you know, traveling and getting to punch outs. It's crazy to think, but that era there was so like primitive, like when you went out to Darwin and to fight, and you just went with Pete with a backpack.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, the stuff he was doing compared to what I'm doing now, that's
But even now, like even the amateur guys now get it better. Like,
far better. That's what I mean. But I'm saying even that short gap between me and him.
Yeah.
Like, I never went to no weird show and people were just sitting on deck chairs around a cage. Like, I'd find that so strange. Like, I've always fought in like proper facilities, big stadium, cages, walkout musics. This bloke in Peter's bouncing to Darwin, you know what I mean? Walked rolling in, beat the shit out of some bloke and went home, you know what I mean? So, literally.
Hey, you know what? It's just, and I have so much respect for anyone who does it, from amateur, the guys who lose, the guys who win, because you guys are the actual lucky ones that put yourself into that ring and sorted out a lot of stuff that as a man you need to. It's the ones who don't, who build up another sense of reality. They're a big fat lardo. They build up a different sense of reality of what, fighting is and that. But for guys who know about it, like this individual right here, it's just not that. It's just not that, man.
Why did you stop?
Well, I suppose for me, I stopped because, I remember we were in Thailand, and my ankle was busted, so in America, I reckon the moment I knew I was going to stop was when we were in college. And I just had a major foot operation, and one day I woke up and I couldn't feel my leg. It was just like, for me, I was beside myself, because I used to throw everything I had into this thing, and now I wake up and my leg's not working. And I'm like, I just don't know how much I want to do this for. So I remember I had the Naga belt coming up, and it was purple to black belt division. I went in the open, and I thought, to me, this is like been my dream. If I had one like competitive goal, it was to go overseas, go on a top tier competition and win it. So I did it, and it made me feel good. But I knew after that, I just couldn't conjure up the same passion for it. Then we were in Thailand. I remember I was with Tony. It wasn't his fault, but I fell on my shoulder, and it just never quit on me. And I just thought, I started taking some bad results too. And then as a fighter, you really got to ask yourself, are you going to come back into this ring and make it bigger and better, or you think you're just going to keep rolling around because you've done it for 5 years? And I thought, well, you know what? If I'm not going to take it serious, ciao, because that's what I do. It's either, and it's only competing, man. It's not martial arts. From that day to this day, there's been training every single day, because I'll be a martial artist my whole life. But every young man, it's not about the winning or losing. It's just about the journey, because we can't all be world champions.
Because it was like this last night, but there's a clear distinction between martial arts and competition. You know, just because I compete doesn't make me any more martial arts than anyone else. Like, I'm a competing martial artist, so I test my skills, yeah. But, you know, for someone who's like Sav, I can't say I'm more of a martial artist than he is. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're both martial artists. Like, there is no degree to martial arts.
I think
I
just want to say the one huge thing I learned, it's not that I am the best fighter. I'm not the best fighter. I know that now. But you know what? I will fight. And I bring that mentality to everything I do in my life. I just fight and I fight and I fight and I keep going and I keep going, man. You know,
that's something often that I talk about with people. Is, you know, and that's what this show is all about. Like, why do you do what you do? You know what I mean? Like Sam said there, like we've all got that little bit of fight. And I said it doesn't necessarily mean punch fight. It can mean like, man, some people like bakers get up at 2 a.m. every day. I couldn't do it. Personally, I wouldn't do that. I personally don't see myself getting up 2 a.m. every day to go bake bread. You know, but there's guys out there who do it, man. For their family, they're making money, they're making, you know, a business, they're making a lifestyle. And they're a fighter just as much as I am. So that's why, you know, I like this show, and we bring, you know, you and I, we made this show because, you know, we can talk to people like Savin, because you and I ain't gonna go out there and play in our jocks every Sunday, are we? We're not gonna do that. But he will. But why? Why will he do it and we wouldn't? You know what I mean? Like, because he's got a passion and love for music. You know, like the same reason why you stay in the nightclubs till 4, 5 a.m. recording stuff, because you love it. You love recording. Like, I wouldn't. I'd be like, I'm going home, bro, at 12. You know. But then you're gonna be like, Tony, I wouldn't build a gym in my house to train every day. You understand? This is what I like this show is about, because see how all three of us are doing. We wouldn't do what he does. Me and him won't do what you do, and you two don't do what I want to do. Yeah, they say that, but yet we're all fighting for the same thing, you know, success and passion in our thing, and that's what I love this podcast and this. But you know, I want to talk about. In a way,
stuff. I do have somewhat political ambitions, like not as far as like. Because, I mean, to me, Donald Trump's not a real person. He's like Stone Cold on the WWE. He's very funny, and he makes good comments like Stone Cold, but nothing's actually really happening. But I see myself as like, I do want to be a true, like, face in the community that people can feel safe around. I really do feel like and say hello to, because a lot of people
I often say Sav's like the Jesus to the common man, you know what I mean? I really do that because I see some of the young kids and even the older generation guys come in and they want to shake his hand and they just smile when they see him, man. They do. They're like
the last episode that we've done for the year, we had the trolley guy come around here picking up trolleys, and he's like, "Where's the crazy guy with the long hair?" And we're like, "Yeah, my brother."
And it's okay, and he's bowing down to him, you know, because these young, even I've seen some young lads come up to him and be like, "Wow, man, like, I can't believe we actually got to meet you," because, you know, I think a lot of, and so many, especially older generation people, they just say, "Man, I just love you, brother. Like, he just does whatever he wants." But it's like they're telling you, like, he does it, but I can't. Like, I wish I could. But it's like, why can't you? You know, that's one thing I like about it.
A lot of people say that to me too. You know, I'm not anyone special. I'm just a man. You know, that's it. I'm just a man. Yeah. But I've got half a plan.
I mean, even to points where sometimes I've been threatened over social media about his actions, and I'm just like, are we now getting into that part of the world where your own family members can actually now have a bearing on your entire life? So I'm going to lose my job because my brother does what he does. Like that's crazy. Now we're censoring it so far that it's going to be a generational thing. So now my kids won't ever get a job because their uncle did something. Like, what is that? You know, and I just think we've really got to, you know, that's why I enjoy guys like Sav, because they're really pushing the boundaries and they're making people go like, you know, what the hell? Like,
you know what? I am really pushing the boundaries, but all I have to do is be myself, because a lot of people say, oh, how come, you know, people like you and stuff? I says, well, if you do whatever you want and you eat correctly, you'll shine like a fucking diamond, you know, through the crowd, because you're someone just being yourself. So,
I like it.
You're a big advocate for lemons as well. Wow.
Man, I tell you what, the lemons to me,
fruit
is
and
like
the lemon specific.
Love it, man.
You eat a lemon a day, don't you?
A lemon a day in the morning. It is like, you know, these dehydrated diabetics will go for a Red Bull. You know, just oh God, this is like having ecstasy or something. But the lemon, man, is just like a nuclear explosion through your body, man. I owe everything I have to just to clean living, man.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
like it gives me so much. I could flip. You want to see me flip this table?
I got, you know, I got to say, you know, Sav, I mean, how much you weigh now?
82 this morning.
He was 82 kilos, right? I remember about 3 years ago.
Well, when I
living a
used
normal life,
as a pro fighter, my first debut fight was at like 110. But what had happened there? Do you remember how fat I was?
Yeah.
Because what had happened was like I used to train like a beast, you know, and then I hurt my foot. But I still, you know, I knew I couldn't have a big MMA career, but I knew I had to squeeze in whatever fights I could get because I was losing it for it. So I remember I went in with this big ankle brace and I was so overweight. But, you know, I had and I say to a lot of fighters and that, I just want to tell you about myself. When I used to fight and compete, even at the peak, I was like 93, but now I'm 82. Why? You know why? Because I had no idea about nutrition, you know, because it's not really like pushed and enforced upon. Like a lot of people think I'm strange because I won't eat that or I won't eat that. Yeah. But I really think that they're strange because the same, like I'll go into a cafe and if they don't have filtered water, I don't want it. And people be like, are you one of those people? But you're most of the people that call me out are the same people that need a Coke Zero instead of a Coke. Yeah. It's like, you know, like we're doing the exact same thing, but you're going for fucking something that's going to kill you and makes you fucking look like a fat toad, you know, and I like this. Oh, wow, it goes in clean, in the stomach, out the stomach. You feel strong, man, you know, all the time.
It's cool. And what I admire about you is you're like, when you find something, you dive into it 110%. And as of late, you really got into your gardening, building your own veggie patch, and you're out the back in cutting steel and welding, and so you've gone above and beyond for this. Why? Why the gardening side?
Okay, because I suppose when I got home from South America, I knew something bad was coming. I just in my head I knew something bad was coming. I was like in the Philippines years ago, because like. The thing is, like, I am 31 and I do build, like, I've had days before this day. So I go ahead and I build this perspective of life and what you should be doing, shouldn't be doing, you know. I remember being, like, in the Philippines and they all got fucking yellow teeth. And you think, why? Because, you know, all their nutrition is sugar and bullshit. And then I went over to South America and Africa. They're cutting off the power. They're tainting the food supply. They're giving a food supply shortage. You've got stories of having hepatitis in berries and all sort of, you know, fruit and shit from China. I don't want to leave my nutrition in their hands anymore. I do not trust them. I believe that, like, the big companies, they're solely there to make money and not to give you the best product. I want to give me and my family the best product. It motivates me and it drives me, you know. So I like living by the seasons, and and you know, another thing too is a lot of people, they put their curiosities in the wrong sort of things, you know, and that curiosity, energy and nature. I deliver mine all to my garden, and I'm in a constant, man, I just learning every day about all this stuff and seeing these amazing flowers come up. These are real things. These are happening. So to me, I get a very close scope to reality from being out there rather than talking to people and having, because so many people, in my eyes, I could go out to a nightclub and the one thing I think of, everyone in here is trying to act normal. People say to me, like girls, what'd you do to your hair? Did that take this and that? I'm thinking, you're only asking me because you sat in the mirror for about 10 hours before you came up with that. I didn't do any of that because that is not reality to me. Like for me, my garden is my lab and my constant growth and learning with like the earth. So I love it. Very love it.
Yeah, that was deep. I was a bit there like, all right.
And I've learned so much, you know, just about life. And I want to say another thing. It's like there's so many concepts that are out there in the garden that absolutely blow my mind on a daily basis. Like, for example, ants with aphids. Ants carry aphids up to the tree to eat the tree, so then they secrete sugar, which then the ants get in return. Or a wasp. A wasp is a parasite. It injects its larvae into a fucking what does the ant put up there again? I got so many words in my head. I forgot. Well, anyway, okay. Aphid. Sorry, yeah.
Aphid.
So a wasp will inject its its larvae into an aphid, and then the aphid grows out of it. That's like, you ever seen that movie Alien? That's basically that. And you're like, but they're doing it. So yeah, I'm out there, and you just see concepts of reality that are just far out. They're in horror movies.
Well, I think it's been happening your whole life. You're walking past it, and you don't even know there's a whole entire nation, a whole world happening out there that you don't even know about. And that's once again back to like the virtual reality. Like, we sit here and we're like, yeah, like you just put a seed in the ground, it grows, and the fruit comes off it. That's what
And
like, think
another,
about it.
and
You know.
And another thing too, to get onto that, is like, I meet so many different people who are very good gardeners, but because I believe that like trees and that, there needs to be more effort putting into understanding these things than, say, developing guns. Now, I'm a lover of both. I love guns, I love weapons, and I love gardening. But there's so much out there that is not known. It's crazy, and I love meeting other gardeners, and because there's no like categorized words and like things that you can say, you have to talk in this weird language and find it out. But it's a very rewarding process and great thing to talk amongst people. Well, don't get me started on gardening.
We won't because we've got to move on now. We've got to move on. It was good to to dive into Subb's mind to I mean, not that he cares, but for me, I in a way sort of care. I don't want people to say that Sav is in this, like they said, a smelly, hairy pig. You know what I mean? Like,
not true.
There's more to. No, it is true, but there is more to the. And it's the world. Everyone has. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah, sorry, it is true. Sorry.
No, because hey, sometimes you got to see me, man. I mean, look, if I start, let's be honest, I've got hair, and if I start sweating and I've been in the dirt all day, I am a sweaty. But
it's just fun.
That's why I said don't let the female employees come past here, man. I'll be booked out.
I reckon before we go, one last thing. Yesterday, you officially called out Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah.
And that's...
With all due respect, honestly, with all due respect, I love Eddie Alvarez. Huge fan of Eddie Alvarez, as was I, as most guys in my division. And any fight, I'm a huge fan of anyone. Like Sav said, any fighter. And I'm a big fan of Eddie Alvarez, and I'd love to test my skills against, one of the best guys to ever do it in our division. So if I could get that opportunity, if one championship in Chattree can give me the go, man, you know where I'm at, and I'm waiting for a fight. So I'm healthy, I'm ready to go. And I'd love that opportunity.
I think it's cool. Tony's earned his respect
100%
through the promotion.
I think through Tony's last fight, he deserves it more than ever of doing it. For me, it's exciting. Like when I saw it last night, I'm like, man, imagine if he gets it, it'd be huge for him. And for a guy like Eddie Alvarez to take on a young up and comer like Tony, man, it would do some good for him. So I think I'd love to see this fight happen.
I'd love to see it too,
I shared it. I'm on board. So that's
so any of the fans out there who want to see that happen, hey, share, comment, tag One Championship, tag Chattree, tag Eddie Alvarez, let him know. And let's get this fight going. Let's make some noise, and
you gotta give me a media pass for that one, so I
can for sure. We're gonna get you for any of the upcoming shows, because Rick's always been there and he's my media guy, so I want all my people there, and so that's official. And hey, let's hope we're talking about that in the next couple of weeks.
I'd love that.
And I'm setting off to go to Florida to take on to once again to push boundaries, man. Because a lot of people that I know, when a lot of people they're like, "Oh, you want to fight?" They look at me like, "You want to fight? What are you crazy?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, I am crazy, but I'm no pussy." Like, I'll tell you that much right now. Like, I might be an idiot, but I'm no coward, man. Like, I will fight the best. Like, I want to be the world champion.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be the world champion. And to do that, you've got to beat the best guy. You can't run away from them. It's not like boxing. We don't have the guys who can taper us all the way to the top.
Yeah.
We got to take on the best. And I want to take out the division. And Eddie Alvarez, to me, for me, it'd be like such an iconic moment to fight him, Man. I feel like, I've always said it, I'm the real life Rocky, and he's from Philadelphia, man. So I want to take out the real life Philadelphia.
Cool. Before we see out the show, I want to give Sav the platform now to preach his word to the listener, and then we'll close out the show after Sav's words.
Well, before Sav, I just want to give a quick shout out to Robin van Roosmalen, unfortunately was in a car accident in the Netherlands, and his sister passed away. So I just want to send some love to him, and also just some strength and some power to Erwin Riviera. Terrible situation, unfortunately, with his family, what's happening with him, but he's an awesome guy. And I don't, not that I don't care what he's done, but I know Erwin for Erwin. I train with him. He's a teammate of mine. So I just want to send him some love and some strength. And to all the boys at Sanford, it's been a tough month already for this year for us. So all the love and all the power to the boys out there. And also just a quick shout out to MMA Island. I got your T-shirt today, so it was. They sent me this about 3 months ago. I think it had to do like a 3-month quarantine, man. Because they had COVID. But yeah, just wanted to do that quick shout out.
Is it a big promotion, MMA Island?
No, they're like an Instagram page. They've got their own podcast. They do a lot of stuff, and man, they're good. They're great. They help build guys like us and our platform and the fighters. So just a quick shout out to one wearing the shirt. Love you guys. Thanks for the love. And now just finish off with Sav. We'll finish off with Sav.
Okay, guys. All right, well, seeing as I'm getting out of it, where's the camera here? No. All right, guys, if you thanks for having me on the Inside Podcast. Long-time listener, long-time watcher, and the rest of it. Everyone, rock hard, rock free. You want to see fucking freedom? You come Sunday, 3 o'clock, man. I'll be there, okay? Rock on.
Cheers, Sav.
Thank you.